Welcome back to the channel, and today's edition is one very beautiful edition. I'm just standing here admiring the beauty of this. I wish the camera would pick everything that I would like to share with you in terms of entertainment, in terms of learning. You know, if you stick it here today up to the end of this edition, you'll be able to learn a lot, and you can even compare notes with what you have on your end. So this is a farm somewhere deep in Nyanza. It is a very beautiful and calm morning. There is a lake somewhere behind the vicinity. You cannot see it, but later probably I'll be able to showcase a bit of that. But the main thing is just for you to see this expansive land that is just dedicated for farming. And then at the extreme end over there, I don't know if it is visible, I'll just zoom in later so that you're able to see. Over there is the farmhouse, and it is made out of corrugated iron sheets. So some people call it shack house, and it's a very beautiful shack house. The interior has been done in a very modernized way. Something else about this farm is that it is self-sustainable. They harvest water, they harvest the solar, so that lighting, this post that I've been just standing next to is solar powered, and at night this place is very well lit. You will not believe. So there's a lot about this farmhouse that I like to share with you. Self-sustainability in terms of lighting, in terms of power, in terms of food, in terms of economic improving the economic lifestyle of the community. At the end of the day, you want to give up to the community. It is just about you, yourself, and you. So karibu sana, stick here, and thank you so much for your loyalty. You've made this channel become what it is today. I'm way ahead of myself in terms of growth, and I owe it all to you. So well, let's take a walk along this driveway. There's a long driveway that goes all the way to the house, and on my extreme right there is a vast farm of maize that has just been harvested. Here I noticed that the maize stalks are left in the farm, so they just cut it halfway, pluck off the dry maize and leave the stalks hanging in the shamba. Right here I think it is a dead frog. I don't know, the children must have been playing here. It's so simple to be a child. So those are still the remnants of the maize, and I feel like this is a very ingenious way of handling it, because eventually it rots down into humus and it becomes really good for the soil for the next season. On my extreme left there is a farm full of vegetables. These are called sukuma wiki, and I'm just taking a short walk in here so that I can appreciate them from a very close range. So these are collard greens in English, and to imagine that they've been rain-fed is just mind-blowing. So along the driveway, on either side of the driveway, there is this post that I'd earlier told you about, and they are the ones hosting the solar panels and the floodlights that line the driveway all the way from the gate down there up to the house, up to where the farmhouse is over there. So in a while I'll show you the farmhouse itself, but you can get to my previous videos. You will find a full and elaborate edition about the interior finishing of the farmhouse. Right here we have palm trees that have been planted along the driveway, and this is a very artistic view. I know with time they're going to grow and become very beautiful. I cannot imagine someone driving along the driveway and the palms are just lining your outlook. I believe it will be a very beautiful view. So being that this area does not get a lot of rain, they have to be watered every now and then so that they get to grow. So every beautiful thing has a price to pay. If you see something beautiful, just know that behind the scenes people work tirelessly for them to be what they actually are. And this right here is the farmhouse. I'm sure if you've been on this channel for long enough, you've seen this house already. If not, please check my previous videos just as I have advised. And then moving on right ahead, in front of me you see some water tanks that have been hoisted up above the ground level. And right below that is a concrete structure that houses poultry. So you can see space management has been really done on a top-notch level in this home. These are soya beans that have just been harvested from the farm, and this is what I'm talking about. Those are 10,000 3-liter tanks that have been hoisted up there, and the structure right below it houses poultry. So they also do ornamental farming. They have guinea fowls here, we have turkey, and such kind of animals that if we have enough time I'm going to share with you. We also have chicken. These are some of the plans that have been put in place so that water harvesting happens at 100%. And some of these tanks usually get their water pumped right from, of course there's the gutter system that harvests the water from the rooftop, and then it is directed into these tanks. After that, they are pumped up to the level of the water tanks that you've seen hoisted on top of the poultry structure. I think that this is a very smart way of handling the water problem in this area, and given that the owner of this home also has plans to service the community with water in the near future. So that is the front view of the poultry house that I talked about. On my extreme right is the farmhouse itself, and you notice that maize is actually being aired today. After the maize is aired, usually in most places I've seen the maize being put in a gunia like this, or a sack if you like, and then it is hit. It is hit using either a wooden stem or a metallic item, so that the maize falls off the maize cobs. When all the maize has been removed from the cobs, usually they are continued to be aired for some time under dry or direct sunlight. Then when they are dry enough, now they are going to be stored away in very dry conditions in the same sacks that you can see. So right here we were just taking the maize off the lawn because it was actually coming to rain. So most of us just left what we were doing and started to work together to rescue the maize. So come with me so that I take you round to the store area of this home. It is jumbled up, but don't worry, a lot of activities have been taking place here. So this is where the owner of this home eventually stores her maize. And you can see she has had quite a good harvest this season. So this is part of the maize that has been harvested and is still being dried. And you see the tin that is right inside the sack is what we call gorogoro. So this is a metallic tin that is usually used to measure or take measurements of the maize, especially if you want to sell. So this one gorogoro as at now is being sold at 100 shillings. And sometimes it can go up to 200 shillings, sometimes it goes even as low as 40. So it depends on what the market looks like. And then in this store, there's also chicken rearing. some of the laying boxes have been put here. As you can see, there are some eggs already, and there's even some chicken lying on the eggs. So within 21 days, you expect that such eggs, if they were good, they'll hatch into chicks. And this actually contributes to the high number of chicken that I've witnessed in this home. And they're all kienyeji. Kienyeji to mean they are indigenous chicken. Something else is that they plant soya. If you know soya beans, this is the actual soya bean plant that has just been pulled out of the farm. And apparently it looks like this season was a very good season for this home. This is the soya plant. I'm also seeing it for the first time, and it looks very interesting. It is a leguminous plant that does very well in some of the soils that I've witnessed in this area. So in this area, the most common type of soil is the black cotton soil. But I feel like you can try it anywhere you are. You never know. Maybe the kind of soil in your area can also do well with this kind of a plant, the soya plant. Aside from that, we are still taking a tour around the farm. So if you recognize this plant, please tell me in the comment section. Which kind of plant is this? And of course, I'm going to mention it to you. This is the sweet potato plant, or the sweet potato vines. So they are tubers. And I feel like the crop rotation and balancing in this farm is just something not... it will be weird if I don't mention it, because I feel like there's a bit of the tubers, there's a bit of the legumes, there's also a bit of the... I don't know what maize is called. I forget. Yeah, but I feel like this is good for the soil. So there's not just one type of a plant that is dominating in all the farm, but a beautiful mixture of both. And that takes us right into the tomato farm. So I hope you're counting the number of plants that are actually being planted in this farm. So we've come across maize, we had soya, we had sweet potatoes, and now we have tomatoes. And the best part is that it is not only for the home consumption, they also do this commercially. At this particular point, I actually came across a customer who was buying tomatoes at bulk. So people come to this farm, they buy, and they take it to the market or the areas of residences where they resell the tomatoes. And I thought that the farm gate price was actually very appealing. Apart from customers coming to buy the vegetables and the tomatoes at the farm gate prices, the rest of the tomatoes is actually harvested, packed in crates, and taken to the nearest market. So that is how this farm also sustains itself. By selling these products, they are able to get money so that some of the farm activities that are running behind the scenes can be funded by the proceeds that come from the sales of such tomatoes. And last but not the least, we come across the sukuma wiki farm that I earlier showed you at the beginning of this video. Aside from sukuma wiki is collard greens, and there's also spinach. So these sustain the home because the members of this family actually feed from this farm. Aside from that, they do sell to outsiders at farm gate prices. So I actually witnessed this process ongoing, and it was a very interesting one. I hope you find it interesting too. There's a way they count the vegetables without losing count, because when you're doing bulk sales, it is difficult to count literally from 1 to, let's say, 100. So for every 10 leaves that the lady is selling the vegetables is counting, you notice that she throws a leaf behind her. So each leaf that is thrown behind represents tens. And eventually when they get to count, this is what they use to tally, so that the customer can pay exactly what they have taken away.
Ndio naambia Ben, na yeye hataki kusikia. Yeye aoni nimelipa fare mara mbili. Sasa, kama zile za watu wawili.
And finally, when the sale is done, this is what the baby helps to carry home, because it is going to feed the chicken and the other poultry that are in the farm. So look at that cycle. I find it very admirable. Also, being in this field of content creation, I have noticed that the more involved I am in the processes that I want to record, the easier my life becomes in terms of getting the best out of what I can bring to you on this channel. So notice that I sometimes get involved very actively in these activities, and right here you can see that I'm helping carry the vegetables away. So with this, I come to the end of this edition. I hope you have learned quite some. I hope you have enjoyed it. If so, please tell me in the comment section. I will also appreciate if you give me ideas on what you'd like to see on this channel. So far, I've been bringing you a little bit of everything, all hustle. So let me know. I'll appreciate if you tell me what you'd want to see. If it is possible, I'll go to great lengths to bring that to you. In the meantime, make sure that you make this content shareable. You can share with your friends or anybody else that you feel may like this kind of content. You can also give me a thumbs up. Please take time to like this video. That way you make sure that it gets to as many people as possible. And finally, I noticed that there's a very good number of people that are watching my videos and you have not subscribed. Why? Why would you do that? So it does not cost you anything. Subscription is free. You just tap on the subscribe button that is underneath this video, and you help this family grow. Until the next one, thank you so much for being here to the end, and it is bye bye for now.